This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we have an previous session recap. After that, we can move on to the today's topic. Okay. So in last class, we have seen some applications of computer networks. That we have seen business applications, home applications, and then mobile applications, and then last social applications. So these are the applications we have discussed in last class. So in I don't want to elaborate these content because these are familiar with us. They in day-to-day life we are using these applications. We are also involved in these applications. So I'm just going to next topic that we have seen is classification of networks. That is four classifications. One is PAN, personal area network, local area network, metropolitan area network, and wide area network. So these all we have discussed in last class. So personal area network means those network which is formed in our personal area, that is our home or within a room. We are forming a network. We are connecting two or more devices in our personal area means that is called as a personal area network. So that network is called as an PAN. And example is the connection of your mobile phone with the laptop with the help of an USB cable or with the help of an Bluetooth. This comes under the example of this PAN network. And your connection of your mobile phone with your watches, that is wearable devices, and connecting your mobile phone with your car audio player. This and all examples of a personal area network. Next comes the local area network, that is LAN. So LAN is formed within a single campus, okay, within a building. It can be a company, or it can be an office, or it can be a school, college, or university. So within a campus, we are connecting all the devices to form a network means it is called as a LAN. And the devices which are used for making the LAN communication is, in the case of a wired LAN, it is hub and switch. In the case of a wireless LAN, it is Wi-Fi. Next, metropolitan area network, which is nothing but it is going to connect two different LANs, or it is going to make a connection in a geographical area, which is within a city level. Okay, that is called as a metropolitan area network. I told you last time example, there are two supermarket within a same city, and they can communicate with each other. The person in one branch can communicate with can access the database which is available in another branch, which is far away from branch one, but within the same city means, then this communication can happen with the help of an MAN network. By connecting these devices to form a network, this type of network is called as a MAN network. In MAN network, the devices used are switches or hubs and routers or bridges. Next comes the wide area network. So this is nothing but worldwide communication. So we can communicate with anyone in the world. If we are in India, when we can communicate with another person who is in UK or Australia or anywhere else. This communication is happening only with the support of an WAN network. Okay, the devices used are all the end devices and all the intermediate devices are involved in this network. And next we have seen the topology. So topology is nothing but layout, that is how physically nodes are connected and how logically the data communication is happening between the nodes. This layout is called as a topology. There are several types in the network, that is bus, ring, star, mesh, and hybrid. Among this, bus, ring, and star are used in the LAN communication, while mesh and hybrid is used in the WAN and MAN communications. Okay, next we have seen different topologies in detail, like bus topology, which has a central cable and all the other nodes are connected to this bus topology. And the data communication is happening from one node to another node, but the data transferred is sent through the central cable, which is being visible by all the other nodes, seen by all the other nodes. So there is less security, And this type of communication is used only for a small network, because for a larger network we need a lengthy cable, which results in an bottleneck, that is overload congestion, and also it results in a higher cost. And it is used in the simple LAN home office network. Okay. Then the second one is, we have seen a ring topology. It forms an unidirectional communication, that is one-to-one communication. The node can send data to the neighbor node only. So if it want to send data to, for example, here in this scenario, if node 1 wants to send data to node 4, means the data can be transferred only in this path. That is, it can send data from node 1 to node 2, then node 3, then node 4. The drawback is, the advantage is it is very simple to install, and the cost is also very less, and it is little bit efficiency than bus topology. But the drawback which we have seen is, if any node, if any link is failed between any other node, means then the data communication, the entire data communication will get stopped. Okay, that is this is the problem in ring topology that we have seen in drawbacks. And there is also no security, because the data has been seen by other nodes also, which is not the relevant destination. It even though it is not a destination node, it can see the data while the data is crossing over that node. Next comes the star topology. So in star topology, it has a central hub or switch. All the nodes can send data and receive data only through that central hub or switch. The drawback is, the advantage is, it is very fault tolerant. If there is any problem, means it can easily rectified and solved. That is called as a fault tolerant, and it is easy to design. It is scalable. But the problem is, because of using the switch or hub, it is a little bit costlier when compared to the other topologies that we have discussed previously. And another problem is, it creates a bottleneck, because if multiple nodes are sending data through the same central hub, all the nodes will be received by the central hub only. So that time it creates an overload and congestion will happen. This may result in loss of the data. That is the problem, that drawback in star topology. And obviously the single point of failure affects the whole network, which means if hub or switch is being affected, it is not working, means the entire communication will get stopped. Next comes the mesh topology, which is one-to-one communication. So each node can send data to each other. It don't want to depend on any other nodes. For example, node 5 can send data directly to node 2, as well as it can receive data directly from the node 2 to node 5. So each one-to-one communication is there. And the advantage is, it is fault tolerant. If there is any problem in any path, means it can take an alternative path for transmitting the data, then reliable, and it is secured, because other nodes are not able to see the data. And the problem is broadcasting. If one node is broadcasting data, for example, if node 1 is broadcasting means it is sending data to all the other nodes in the network. So all the other nodes will be receiving that data. In that case, if another node is also communicating or sending some data, means that time it creates an bottleneck, overload. That is an issue here. And another thing is, it is expensive, because if multiple nodes are involved in a network, means it is very difficult to implement this mesh topology, because of the requirement of this large number of cables. So it is very difficult, and it is also expensive, and it is high cost. It also occupies larger space. So it is used in the telephone line. There is landline telephone, right? That this type of mesh topology is being implemented. And next is the hybrid topology. Hybrid is nothing but combination of all the topologies. It's called as a hybrid topology. It is used in a TV network as well as telephone line network. So that's all about the topologies that we have discussed in last class. You all clear with this concept, right? Anything it is not clear means you can ask me. Okay, fine. Thank you, Muthamadi Devi. Muthamadi Devi, thank you so much for your response. Okay, then we can move. Hope others also clear. I'm just moving on to the next topic. That is networking devices. Yes, thank you, Linda, and thank you, Shivanandam. Next topic we are going to say is networking devices. So networking devices is nothing but we have discussed like switches, hubs, right? That we are going to discuss in detail. What is the function of switch? What is the function of hub? What is the function of router? So these all we are going to discuss. So these are the devices which are supporting for data communication. We are going to discuss what are the functions of each devices and what are the devices involved in the communication of network. Okay, this is an 7 OSI layer that I have told you in first class. This is the layer which is used for communication. One computer want to send data to another computer means these are the 7 layers which are going to provide a communication or data transmission which is going to support for data communication from one node to another node. Okay, this what are the functions of each layer we will be discussing in next class. Now we are going to discuss what are the devices used in each layer and what are the functions of those networking devices. Okay, layers, I'll be naming those layer name. From the bottom to top, we are going to call the layers. First one is physical layer, second one is data link layer, third one is network layer, and then transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. I'll be explaining you about these layers in next class. And now we can see what are the devices used in each layer. So in physical layer, the device used is repeater or hub. And in data link layer, the device is used, which is the networking device which is going to support for communication is bridge or switch. And in network layer, it is nothing but router or gateway. And from transport layer to application layer, it is gateway or proxy server. Now we can see one by one the devices and their functions. So first one we are going to see what is switch. So switch is nothing but it is a device, networking device, which is used in the data link layer. It is used for connecting a single LAN. Okay, so within a LAN, if a number of nodes of connector means those devices can be connected together with the help of a switch. Okay, we can see this kind of switch or hub in our laboratories in our college campus and all. Okay, so what this switch is going to do, how the communication is happening in switch. So it is going to perform unicast. Unicast means one-to-one communication. So one node can send data to another node which is a corresponding destination. So the data will be sent directly to the destination node. Okay, and the none of the other nodes in the network will be seeing that data. So this type of communication is called as a unicast. Switch is supporting unicast way of communication, and it is going to maintain a table called a switch table. In the table, it has two informations. One is MAC address, another one is port number. Okay, so MAC address is nothing but it is an NIC address. So NIC is nothing but network interface controller. It is a device which is available in our PC. You can see in your desktop at the back, it will be having an NIC, that is network interface controller. Through this NIC only, the cable will be connected to the LAN, or the cable will be connected to the switch. Okay, what this NIC is going to do is it is used for providing a connection between the node and the network. Okay, it is used for providing a connection between the node and the switch. by using a serial cable. Okay, so this NIC is also going to provide an unique identifier number for each PC. That identifier number is called as a MAC address. Okay, whenever the NIC is connected with a network, that time the network will be accessing the unique identifier number from the NIC. That number is called as a MAC address of that device. Okay, so this MAC address is maintained by the switch table. Whenever a system is connected to switch, this is a switch. Whenever a system is connected to switch, the switch will be getting the MAC address with the help of an NIC, and that data will be retained inside a memory which is available in the switch. Okay, and along with the port number. Port number is nothing but there are multiple ports available in the switch. You can see small box opening, right? This is called as a port, to which port the corresponding device is connected. That will be mapped in the switch table. Okay, the MAC address of a system will be mapped to the corresponding port number. This system is connected to port 1, so that port 1 will be written here. Okay, this is the switch table which is maintained inside the switch. So by this, what it is going to do is, it is going to perform unicast. I'll be showing you a simple animation clip which is designed here. You can see this is a sender and all the other nodes are connected here, and this is the respective receiver which is going to receive data from the sender. So with the help of the switch table, how the data is communicated is, the sender will send the data to the switch. Okay, now switch, what it is going to do, on receiving the data, it will be checking for the destination MAC address. Okay, to which destination system it should be transferred. That corresponding MAC address will be taken from the switch table, and to which MAC address it has been connected. That port number also will be accessed from the switch table. Okay, then it will be sending that data to the corresponding receiver. So this message information contains source MAC address as well as destination MAC address. So from that message information, it will be identifying the destination MAC address, and from the switch table, it will be fetching the port number to which port that destination is connected. Then it will be forwarding that data to the corresponding destination. So this way of communication is called as an unicast. That is, sender is directly sending data to the destination. So this is the thing happening within the switch. With the help of this switch table, it is able to perform unicast. Okay, and it has multiple collision domains. Then it serves bandwidth when compared to high hub. That is, the utilization of bandwidth is minimized when compared to hub, and it improves security because the data is not being seen by any other devices in the network. And next, it consists of minimum ports like 5, 8, 16, 24, 48, which means port is nothing but how many number of devices that it can connect up. If it is a 5-port switch, means it can connect 5 nodes or 5 computers with it. If it is a 48-port switch, means it can connect 48 devices or 48 computers with the switch. Next, the speed can be varied from 10, 100, 1000, 10,000 Mbps, that is megabits per second, and also 40 or 100 gigabits per second. Speed of communication, in what speed the data is being transferred, that is being defined here. So that's all about switch. Any doubt in the switch concept? Okay, guys, thank you for your response. Okay, thank you guys. If you're looking for a networking based company, means obviously they'll be asking the information about switch, what is hub and all. Okay, next we can see what is hub. Hub is, it is used in the physical layer. It is used for broadcasting the information. Switch is performing unicast, where hub is performing broadcast. Broadcast means from one node, the data is sent to all the other nodes in the network. Okay, so all the other nodes in the network can receive that data. It is used in the LAN connection. It is less expensive when compared to switch. It is half duplex. Half duplex means it can at an instant of time it can only send data or it can only receive data, and it is less secure because the information is broadcasted, so all the other devices in the network can see that information, and the ports ranging from 8, 16, 24, 48, and the speed can be in the range of 10 megabits per second. Now the modern hub can support up to 100 megabits per second. Now we can see how it is working with the help of this animation clip. See now the data is forwarded from the sender to the hub. On receiving this data, since it is not maintaining any table, so hub does not contain a memory inside it. As like the switch is having a memory to maintain the switch table, but hub is not having any internal memory. So what it will do is it will be receiving the data from the sender, and it will be copying that information. That message information will be copied to all the other ports in the hub. From the sender, one message is being received, right? That message will be copied to all the other ports in the hub. Now the data is forwarded to all the other devices in the network. Okay, so what happens here? The receiver is this system, but all the other devices also getting this information. Okay, because the hub does not know does not know to read the MAC address, and it is not maintaining any database inside it, so it doesn't know. It will just collect the information. It will give all the information to all the other devices, and the respective destination will be accepting that data, while other devices will be rejecting that data. Okay, so this is the concept of hub. It is very simple concept only. So next is we are going to discuss about what is repeater. So repeater it is used for boosting the signal strength. Here you can see the signal strength is normal, but when it is gradually going to reduce, here you can see from right to left, the signal is being transmitted in the first image. So the signal strength is gradually reducing. Obviously, all the signal strength will be gradually reduced while distance is going on increasing. Okay, as like in the auditorium, you're speaking without mic means those people who are sitting in front can able to hear your voice, but those audience who are sitting at the last will not be able to hear your voice. Okay, which means the signal, your audio signal is going to reduce when the distance is increasing. So this is happening here also. So what we are going to do is we are going to connect a repeater when the signal is being signal strength is reduced. Wherever the signal strength is reduced, there we are going to connect a repeater. What this repeater will do is it will be boosting the signal strength to the original level. Okay, so the original signal level, the strength of the signal will be increased. So we cannot say repeater is an amplifier. There is a difference between repeater and amplifier. Amplifier is used for amplifying the signal, but it will not amplify the signal to the original level. It will just increase the signal strength. It doesn't know what is the original signal strength. But repeater will increase the signal strength as like the original signal. Okay, that is the function of repeater. So this repeater will be usually used in a distance of some kilometer. This repeater will be boosting the signal strength, which will avoid any data loss and signal corruption. Repeater is usually used in the physical layer in the LAN communication purpose. So this is an image of an repeater which is used in the LAN. Okay, next we are going to see another networking device, that is bridge. So far we have seen switch, hub, then repeater, and now we are going to discuss about bridge. You can watch this animation clip in the bridge. What it is going to do is, it is used in the data link layer. It is going to connect two LANs which are operating in the same protocol. That is, it is going to connect two LANs. Operating in the same protocol means both the LAN should be using an same protocol. That is, if one LAN is connected by means of an Ethernet cable, then another LAN, second LAN also should be connected by means of an Ethernet cable only. Only then we can connect these two LANs with the help of a bridge. Okay, so where this bridge is used is when the LAN is very large, very big, means we can divide that LAN into two sections and we can connect these two LANs with the help of a bridge. Okay, so here what happens is, if PC1 wants to send a data, means the data will be first received by the bridge which is connected between these two LANs, and it will be checking for the MAC address to which destination this corresponding data should be forwarded. If the MAC address, if the destination node is available in the same segment, that is within the same LAN, means it will be forwarding the data from the bridge will be forwarded to that corresponding destination. Or if it is in LAN 2, means then that data will be forwarded to the corresponding destination in the LAN 2. This is the function of bridge. It is used for connecting two different LANs which is operating with the same protocol. Okay. Okay, next component, this is a simple another image I have shown here. That is the MAC address and the corresponding port number. With the help of this information only, the bridge is going to forward data to the same LAN or to different LAN. Okay, next we are going to discuss about the router. Router is similar to the previously discussed one, that is bridge, with the only difference is router is also going to connect two different LAN. We have seen hub, switch and all, those devices and all used within a LAN. It is used to form a LAN network, but bridge and router is used for connect two different LANs. Okay, so this router is used, where it is used is, it is used for connecting two different LANs which are operating with different protocols. While bridge is used for connecting two different LANs which are operating with the same protocol, but router is used for connecting two different LANs which are operating with different protocols. So different protocol means one LAN will be connected with the help of an Ethernet cable, and the another LAN will be formed with the help of a Wi-Fi network. That is wireless. One is wired, another one is wireless. So here Ethernet will be using some protocol for communication purpose. Wi-Fi will be using different protocol for communication purpose. So these two different LAN which is operating with different protocol are connected together with the help of an router. Okay, so this is the function of router, where bridge is used for connecting two different LANs which are operating with the same protocol. Here we have shown the example. This is the LAN 1 and this is the LAN 2. Here LAN 1 is formed with the help of an hub and LAN 2 is formed with the help of a switch. These two LANs are connected with the help of a router. Hub is operating differently, whereas switch is operating differently. We have learned what is the function of hub and what is the function of switch. So these two are connected together with the help of a router. So next we are going to discuss about is modem. We all know what is modem, modulation, and the device which is going to perform modulation and demodulation. So modulation means conversion of digital signals to analog signal, and demodulation means conversion of analog signal into a digital signal. So where it is being used is, if you are connecting a internet with the help of an wired cable. There you will be using a modem. Okay, nowadays we are going for different wired cables, fiber optic cables for LAN communication, for our internet connections, right? There are several service providers are available like Geo Fiber and BSNL. These are providing a network with the support of an wired communication. So this is wired communication. If you are going for network means, there you will be using a modem. What this modem is going to do is it will be converting the signal coming from the analog signal which is coming from the cable into a digital signal, and the digital signal will be given to our computer. And similarly, the information from our computer will be in the form of a digital signal. That signal will be converted into an analog signal for communication purpose. So this is the animation shown here. So that is the function of modulation modem here. Okay. So next we can see external dial-up modem, different classifications of modem. So external dial-up modem means here the modem will be connected externally. Okay, that is, it is not available within the system. It is a box-like thing which is connected externally, and this type of modem is called as an external dial-up modem. So here, how it is connection is happening is with the help of a serial interface card, which is available in our CPU at the back side. From the serial interface card, we are going to connect an cable. Okay, and the serial cable will be connected. This serial cable will make a connection between the CPU and the modem. So from here, in the serial cable, the data is transferred in the form of a digital signal, that is zeros and ones. And here from the modem, it is then transferred through the transmission cable with the help of another cable, that is which used for carrying the analog signal. Okay, so like this only the data, that is internet connection is happening with the help of an external dial-up modem. Next is internal dial-up modem. So internal dial-up modem means we will be having an NIC. I told you in the start of the session what is NIC. So NIC is nothing but network interface controller, which is say this is the network interface controller. This is available within our CPU. So this is acting like a internal modem. Okay, so it will be acting as an it is used for providing a connection with the network, as well as it is used for acting as a modem. It performs modulation and demodulation. Here we don't want any external box for performing the modulation and demodulation functions. Okay, this all done within the NIC available inside the CPU itself. We are just going to connect only the analog cable, which is used for performing the transmission of analog signal. Okay, this card itself will be converting the digital information into an analog signal, and that signal will be connected with the help of this LAN cable, and the LAN cable can be used for carrying the analog signal to the transmission lines. Next comes the cable modem plus routing. So this is nothing but this modem is used for performing modulation and demodulation, as well as it can perform routing operation also. We have seen what is router, right? The router function is also available within this modem. So this type of box is not only supported for performing modulation and demodulation, it can also act as a router. Router is nothing but it is used for connecting two different LANs which are operating with the two different protocols. So that function is also available within this modem. Okay, from this, with the help of a serial cable, the information is being received by the modem, and from modem, the signal is then given to the transmission line with the help of the coaxial cable, which is used for carrying the information. Coaxial cable is used for carrying up both audio and video information. This type of cable is used in our TV connection. At the backside of TV, you can see this coaxial cable. Okay. So next comes the DSL, that is digital subscriber line modem plus router. So what is this digital subscriber line is? In olden days, I don't know whether you have seen or not, in a few years back, we have used landline phones. BSNL is the major provider for landline phones for our home and all, right? Along with landline phone, they also provide an internet connection. Okay, nowadays, if you need a landline connection, if we need internet connection means that is wired internet connection means we don't want to have landline connection and all. We just go for a BSNL office and we can ask them to provide a fiber connection for internet service. But in olden days, initially, if we need internet means we have to provide a landline connection, landline phone connection, telephone connection. Only then we can get an landline internet service. Okay, this type of connection which is provided, internet services which is provided with the support of a telephone line is called as an DSL modem. Okay, so digital subscriber line modem is nothing but they are going to provide the internet service with the help of a telephone line. So this is called as a DSL modem plus router means it can act as a router also. Modem plus router. Okay, you all clear, right? Any doubt means you can ask me in between. Next comes the router, which is nothing but, okay, fine. Thank you, Catherine, for your response. So router is nothing but it is a combination of bridge and router. So this router can act as a bridge as well as router. So it can act as a bridge in the layer 2 and it can act as a router in the layer 3. That is, in data link layer, it can act as a bridge. In network layer, it can act as a router. So this type of device is called as a router. It is also called as a multi-layer switch because it is used in 2 different layers. So this is called as a multi-layer switch. So this can connect 2 different LANs which are operating with the same protocol as well as with a different protocol. Because it can act as a bridge as well as router. And next comes the another networking device is firewall. This we all know very well. Firewall is nothing but it is going to provide security. It is going to protect some websites by blocking the IP address or by blocking the port filtering or by blocking the packet filtering. If you don't want any websites which is coming from corresponding IP means you can block that IP. If you're connected with a firewall device with your PC means there will be an option in the settings of firewall that you can whether you have to filter corresponding IP address or whether you have to enable filtering for port or enable filtering for packet filtering. So if you're enabling means you can enable the filter the corresponding IP address or the corresponding information from the respective port. So it will be blocked. Those informations you will not receive by your systems. In college, in schools, and all you might have seen, you cannot access the social networks. You cannot access Facebook. You cannot access Insta. You cannot access Twitter and all because they have used firewall security device and they have blocked all the IP addresses for Facebook, for Twitter, for this Instagram and all. Okay, this is done with the help of a firewall security device. Okay, that's all about today's session. Any doubt you want to clarify anything else? Okay, thank you, Shivanandam. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Muthamani Devi. Thank you for your response. Thank you, Sudarshan. No doubt. Okay, fine. Okay, for next, we can move on to an question session. I'm just asking you simple questions. I want you to respond. We all to respond in the chat. So first is a device. First question: a device used in wired network that connects multiple computers and devices to share data. Okay, hub. Okay, any other response? Linda has told hub. Santosh told router. Okay, hub. Then Shivanandam told hub. Okay, fine. Nohit also told hub and Janani also told hub. We can, and Muttumani Devi also told hub. We can check the answer. So the correct answer is hub. Very good for your response. So the device which is used in the wired network and it is used for sharing data. Obviously, it is hub or switch. Here switch is not given. So obviously the answer is hub. Router is used for forwarding the data information from one network to another network. Okay. Next is a device assigned to filter and transfer IP packets between dissimilar types of computer networks is called dash. So dissimilar computer networks means two different networks. Is Shivanandam has told it is router. Okay, fine. Linda also router and Muttumani Devi also router. Okay, Catherine also told the router. Very good. What about the others? Only I'm seeing the same names here. Nohit told router. Okay, very good, Nohit. And Janani also told router. I want others also to respond. I could see only always this 6 names or 7 names frequently interacting with me. Okay, you can see the answer. The answer is router. So all of you have told the correct answer. Very good. Next, we are moving on to the last question. That is a software or hardware used to prevent unauthorized access to the network. Obviously, it is firewall. It's very good. Many of you have told, all of you have told the firewall answer. Very good. I could see lots and lots of response. Like new names like Guru Vishnu, then Guru Raj. Could see new names here. Happy to see you. It's very good. The answer is firewall. Okay, I'm happy for your response. Okay, that's all about today's session. Next, we'll be discussing about that 7 layers of OSI model. In next class, we can see that. If anything else to share, means you can share with me now. Else, we can wind up the class. I request everyone to be in session till end because the duration is very low for few students. Okay. Is anything else to start? Is Gayatri Devi very good? The last answer is firewall. Okay, fine. No, nothing to clarify. Okay, fine. Okay, Guru Vishnu has told no. But still we have 10 more minutes. Okay, can last one question. Can anyone say what is modem? Modulation and demodulation. It is going to perform modulation and demodulation. Good, Santosh. What about others? It is used in telecommunication device. Very good, Linda. And it converts digital to analog signals and vice versa. Very good, Shivanandam. Okay, I'm happy to see your response. What about others? Yes, it is a telecommunication device that converts digital signal to analog and vice versa. Very good, Janani. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you guys for your response and thank you for your patient listening. We can wind up this session. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma.